successful UFC debut. I guess just best case scenario all around from beginning of fight week to fighting for about 30 seconds in there.
Yeah, well, the fairy tale ending of my UFC debut.
I'm sure you didn't expect a sub-minute knockout in your first UFC fight, but I guess just talk me through the fight. Did you notice that opening, or was it just throw it and it just happened to land?
Just happened to land. Like, I found the range early on, jabbing to the body. Landed on his chest, and I knew from then that something's going to open up over the top. It just landed like that, and yeah, I never expect quick finishes. I swear, it's every time I expect like a war. Like I was going into this fight expecting it's going to be an absolute like hard dog fight, and end up getting a quick finish. And my last fight on Contender Series, I was expecting a finish and ended up being a hard dog fight. So I don't know. I'm always contradicting myself.
He seems pretty upset at the stoppage. He was kind of yelling at the referee, kind of confused. But in that moment, did you think that was a fair stoppage? And if you had an opportunity to even rewatch it?
I think, yeah, always going to be a fair stoppage. That was fair, more than fair.
And just talk to me about the reception, because, in Vegas, when we have these fights, it's usually about, not even the lower bowl is full. But here it was not at capacity, but it was probably about 70% full for the first fight of the night. So just talk to me about the reception you got.
It was just how I imagined it. I've been picturing this moment for, since I found out about the fight, and I always get goosebumps thinking of it. Last night, due to like nerves and excitement, I couldn't even sleep. So like this morning, I was actually super tired on the bus ride over. I was nearly falling asleep in the bus, and it was exactly how I imagined it, walking out with the flag, with the crowd cheers, and I think just visualizing that all the way up until the moment made it really, comfortable and really normal for me. And, I gain with a crowd. That's why Contender Series, it felt a bit weird for me, but the more eyes on me, I think the better I perform.
What do you want the rest of your year to look like? Because, you obviously you didn't take any damage in there from that fight, so how quickly do you want to turn back around?
I want 4 fights this year, 4 fights, 4 checks. I want to end the year, financially very comfortable. I want to be a rich man. I'm poor right now. I need some money. So I'm praying that tonight I get the 50K bonus, even though first fight of the night. I'm hoping everyone else doesn't perform as well. I want the 50K all to myself. But that's it.
And just last one for me, because obviously lightweight is one of, if not the most stacked division in just all of MMA. You could be championship material and might not even be ranked in the top 15 yet, but the top 15, I'm sure you've seen the stats. They're all relatively past 35 years old, and some of them might be coming up on retirement at this point. I guess, how soon do you think you could crack that top 15? Just giving, if you want to do 4 every year, that's a pretty quick run to the top.
Yeah, I've thought about that. All the top guys are, kind of on their, still at the top of the game, but still, in terms of age, on their way out. Probably only got a few more years left, and I think by the time I was to get there, they might be, out, which is kind of a shame, because sometimes I think of those fighters and think how I'd match up against them, and I don't want to be like the young guy coming up against the super old, guy that should be retired. So I think there's going to be a new surge of all the new young up-and-coming lightweights, including myself, that are going to, rise very quickly.
And Quillan just at the back here.
Sure.
Now, mate, you've had a bit of a race between you and your training partner, Cody Haddon, to a UFC title, which both of you really hyped in your careers. Do you feel like now you're ahead of him?
I'm ahead now. I'll give him shit later when we get back.
And, mate, and feel free to not speak about this if you don't want to, but I know you had a bit of a tough training camp with a training partner passing away. Can you talk about how that sort of affected you heading in?
I did have a really close friend of mine pass away during this camp over New Year's. That did motivate me a lot. I was actually thinking this morning of him, and not gonna let him down. I know he's up in the sky somewhere looking down. He was always my biggest supporter from my very first amateur fight up until the last one I had in Perth. He was at every single one. I could always hear him in the crowd. It was always the loudest one, and I'm gonna miss him dearly. This one here, this one's for you, Jared.
Thanks, mate.